How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Talking Wolves, and welcome back to a brand new transfer video. Hope you guys are keeping well and safe. And today I'm going to be keeping you guys up to date with all the transfers and transfer news and rumours in and around Molineux right now, with players possibly coming into the club and leaving the club in the summer. As always, be sure to hit the like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you're new already. I'm going to start off with a quick question. Which of, if any, of Ryan Nouri, Vitinha and Willian Jose would you guys keep? Obviously, all three of them are on loan at the moment. All three with an option to buy of approximately £20 million on all of them. Express and Star have reported today that Wolves will probably have room for negotiation if they wish to sign any of those players. Of course, all three of them possibly haven't done enough or had enough game time to prove, they are worth that money. But, yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, because obviously there's still question marks over his future, over their future. Right, now, kicking off with the first transfer rumour anyway, is that Wolves are reportedly interested in Schalke midfielder Omar Mascarell in the summer. It's been a strange time for Schalke, really. I remember sort of watching when the Bundesliga had come back after the restart last season, and they just started off dreadfully, and they had a poor finish to the season, and they're having not a great season already. But Mascarell has been linked with Wolves. Couple of decent sources, or most recently AS in Spain. Obviously, he's a Spanish midfielder. They've reported that Wolves have shown the most interest in the midfielder, and that they could sign him for around €5 million, which, I mean, is pretty much a bargain in this day and age. He's a more defensive-minded midfielder, though, so who he would come in to replace, I don't know. But yeah, Omar Mascarell, the first player. And the first outgoing player, possibly, is going to be John Ruddy. Of course, he's out of contract at the end of the season, and Football Insider have reported that it's pretty likely now that John Ruddy has played his last game for Wolves, and that he will be leaving the club at the end of the season. Of course, great for us in the Championship, had little spells obviously here and there, but no real run in the Premier League since Rui Patricio has come in. And yeah, his contract's up at the end of the season. I believe, or I've been told, that he did have the option if he wanted to stay again for another year, that he was very welcome to. But obviously, John Ruddy now towards... Not towards the end of his career as such, he's still probably got three or four seasons left in the tank. Obviously wants first team football now, possibly move closer to his family in Norwich, who knows. But yeah, John Ruddy set to leave, and I believe Football Insider as well said Matthias Sarkic, Wolves goalkeeper, who we signed in the summer, he's been out on loan at Shrewsbury this season. It's likely that he's going to become the club's number 2 goalkeeper next season, so we'll keep our eye on that one. A lot of news surrounding Adama Traore right now. Of course, it's been a strange old season for him. Not quite hitting the heights that he hit last season in terms of goals and assists. And it will be very intriguing to see how his transfer window goes, really. It's probably a doubt that he's going to be picked for the Spain Euro squad now. But of course, last season, good numbers in the summer. We were demanding around 70 million. Well, Football Insider today have said Wolves would take just £30 million for Adama Traore. Now, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this one, because I think this will split opinion on the Twitter. A lot of people were saying, yeah, do it, and a lot of people were saying no. So, yeah, there is that quality and talent in Adama Traore, but we just haven't seen enough of it yet. We've not seen enough of it this season, I don't think. And you could blame that on Jimenez not being in the club, but, you've still got to try and perform and get those goal contributions. But it would be obviously see the club make a profit on him. But I still feel we could probably squeeze a little bit more, purely because of his pace and power and ability. It said as well, Football Insider say Patrick Patrone, of course, he's had a couple of loan spells out of the club. One at Fiorentina and most recently at Valencia. It said that Wolves are going to be looking to sell him for good this summer. Now, look, I don't expect us to get anywhere near the amount of money that we spent for him. What was it, about 16 to 18 million pounds? I'd be surprised if we get 10 million plus for him, if I'm honest. But it looks like Patrone will be someone that will be available and on a transfer list come the summer window. Another one as well, Team Talk have suggested that Wolves are one of a number of Premier League clubs looking at the Burnley midfielder Josh Brownhill. I don't know a huge amount about him, to be honest, but he's played against Wolves a couple of times. Burnley signed him a year or two ago, and he's done quite well into their team at the moment. Probably not the caliber or style of player you could say that you'd expect Wolves to be linked with or go for, but yeah, he's probably one of the better players in that Burnley squad, if I'm honest. And Team Talk as well linked us with Ivan Toney from Brentford. He is on fire once again this season. Wolves are actually pretty heavily linked to him before he moved to Newcastle a number of years ago. But he's had a couple of good spells recently at Peterborough, moving to Brentford at the start of the season, and he's on fire. He's got 25 league goals this season, which is a huge amount, and obviously his situation will be interesting because a lot of clubs will be looking at him, especially if Brentford don't get promoted this season. If Brentford miss out on promotion, I think this is a player that a lot of Premier League clubs are going to be looking at, Wolves included, as well as Arsenal, Leeds, West Ham and Leicester also linked with the 24-year-old forward. Now, a player that's caused a lot of debate as well recently is Dion Sanderson. Now, Dion Sanderson currently, of course, out on loan at Sunderland. Struggled to break in for the sort of first half of the season, but once they brought Lee Johnson in charge, he started to play Sanderson a lot more, and he's looking good. He scored a couple of goals recently, and he's got a lot of admirers now. A couple of the lower end Premier League clubs such as Crystal Palace, Brighton and Sheffield United are all reportedly interested in Sanderson, as well as a number of Championship sides such as Bristol City, Huddersfield and more. Now, a lot of people are wanting to keep Dion Sanderson around and keep him in the squad. As a squad player, I think he would be sound, he would be good. But I just don't see him being that calibre or quality of player to come in and start for Wolves. I think he's got another year left on his contract, so Wolves probably need to either sell this summer or tie him up to a new couple of year deal, 2 or 3 year deal, and see how he progresses. I think another good season in the Championship would suit him because, he had a loan spell at Cardiff and did quite well, and then he got loaned out to Sunderland. I think he'll stay with Sunderland if they get promoted, but yeah, it's quite an interesting one to see. A number of teams interested, a lot of fans wanting him in the team, but we're not gonna, no disrespect, we're not gonna push for Europe like a lot of fans want if we've got players like Sanderson in there. So yeah, it's one to keep our eye out on because I think there will be a lot of interest. Same with Max Kilman as well. It was said by Football Insider that Max Kilman will be available to leave Molineux this summer. A lot of people were upset about that, but once again, if you are wanting the club to push for European football, is Max Kilman, is Dion Sanderson going to be your number one centre-half? Of course, they're great to have as squad players, but for kids, well, I say kids, they're probably about my age, but for players of their age, are they going to want to be sat around? No, they're going to be wanting to play football. So you can understand it from both parties, really. We talked about possibly one winger leaving. One winger coming in is that Wolves have been linked with Valencia forward Gonçalo Guedes as well. Of course, Wolves have got some sort of connection with Valencia. Jorge Mendes, a very big part of both clubs. And Guedes is one of those Portuguese players that is very talented, good winger, quick winger, and has been linked with a move to Wolves. I think that would make a lot of sense, especially if Wolves want to bolster those wide areas. At the moment, really, we've only got Podence, Neto and Adama, and we've seen, obviously, with Podence injured, we can only rely on Adama and Neto, really. So even another one wouldn't hurt for me. Valencia in all sorts of financial trouble at the moment, as there are a big number of clubs, to be fair. But Gonçalo Guedes was one of those players that was linked with the club. I'll leave the big one till last, really. One more as well. Edmund Tapsoba, Bayer Leverkusen centre-back, who had been linked with Wolves before when he was playing in Portugal. He's moved to Bayer Leverkusen, done quite well there so far, and it's been reported by the Express that Wolves are reportedly eyeing a summer move for Edmund Tapsoba. Manchester United are also heavily linked, but it sounds like the German club will probably be holding out for the £44 million release clause on the centre-back. Look, it's a lot of money, but Wolves will live to regret it if we're not starting to look at these sort of players. Ruben Dias was a prime example. If Wolves were ever in for him, he was pretty heavily linked by Tim Spears and the Express and Star at the time that we were. Obviously, we didn't want to pay the money for his release clause. So I think if we want to improve as a team and go further as a club, I think we are going to have to start seeing this sort of money spent on players. Leonardo Campana as well. Sorry, I did say that last one was my last one, but Leonardo Campana as well, of course, came into Wolves from Ecuadorian side Barcelona SC, and it looks like he's going to be leaving the club. He's currently out on loan at Vermilion, and it looks like he's going to be probably not returning to Wolves, as he's reportedly in talks with Inter Miami in MLS. So but I was a big fan of Campana before he came in, mainly due to Football Manager, but it's obviously very unlikely that we're going to see him play in a Wolves shirt. Now, big one to finish off, the managerial situation. Obviously, Nuno is our manager in charge at the moment, and I've not touched on this before, but there have been links from Italy suggesting that Gennaro Gattuso has been linked with the manager's job at Wolves. Gattuso is currently obviously in charge of Napoli over in Italy. Very well-known character due to his, on the pitch and off the pitch antics playing for Italy and AC Milan. But Gattuso has reportedly been identified as a possible target for Wolves if Nuno were to leave the club this summer. People probably question why he would do so, but it's been a tough old year for Nuno. Maybe he wants to take a break, who knows, but I'm fully confident that his future does lie with Wolves if he wishes to stay here. Obviously in Italy there were reports as well that Mendes was involved, although Mendes not directly a client of Gattuso. He's worked with him before as well, and it could be, if Gattuso decides to leave Italy, he could be a target. But you look at the last Italian manager we employed, then it didn't go down too well. But guys, lots of transfer news, lots of rumours to sink your teeth into. Hopefully we got through it as much as we can. If you've got any questions about any of the players that have been linked today, let me know in the comment section down below. Be sure to hit the like button. As always, guys, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, I'll see you all very, very soon.